Hi, I'm Mary Collier. I'm the founder of Core Powered Entrepreneurs, and we are back today continuing our discussion on purpose and planning. This week we are going to focus on how to develop a purpose-driven plan. Before we get into developing the plan, I want to just briefly go through each of the elements that are in the purpose-driven plan, and then we're going to come back and we're really going to focus on the objectives and how to define the objectives. Even though we're not going into detail on everything as we go through each of the elements, I want you to keep in mind that there's a workbook that you can download at the end of this video blog, and that will help you to work through each of those in detail and provide you with examples. So, looking at the elements, what we're going to go through are objectives. Well, obviously first it's your purpose is the main element, the driver. Objectives, goals, strategies, actions or steps, and milestones. So let's go through each of those briefly. Objectives. This is going to be a series of statements that you define that are going to tell you how you plan to manifest your purpose. Then for each of your objectives, you are going to define goals. Your goals are going to be very specific. We're going to use what they call SMART goals, which means that they are specific, they are measurable, they are actionable, and they are realistic, and they are time dependent. So all of that is explained in the workbook, and it gives you examples of that. But we want to make sure that our goals that we set for our objectives are very specific. That's the main point. Next are our strategies. Strategies are going to tell us how do we think we're going to actually achieve our goals. So if I have a goal based on my objective, I'll use myself as an example. My objective is to help women entrepreneurs over 40 to core power their life and their business. So that's my purpose. My objective is to help, one of my objectives is to help women over 40 to discover their core and then to develop a profitable business model that lets them do what they love. So you can see that's my purpose, my objective. Then for a goal, my goal might be that I want to increase my income by 100%. That's one of my goals by the end of the year. Also has to be time dependent. So one of my strategies to do that may be to offer products along with service offerings. So then your next step is going to be actions or tasks that are necessary to accomplish your goals based on the strategies that you've defined. So I said one of my goals was to increase my income by 100% by the end of the year. So my strategy to accomplish that is going to be to develop a new product. So my actions or tasks that I'm going to define are going to be what are all the steps that I need to go through to develop that product. Now the last element is milestones, and that is going to be a tangible deliverable that is produced along the way as part of your plan. So in the scenario we just used as an example, one milestone might be the first milestone when you're creating your products and going through each of those action steps is an outline of the actual product or an overview of the product that you are going to be producing. So that's just one example of a tangible milestone. So now that we've gone through each of the elements, let's go back because we're really looking at how to develop a purpose-driven plan. So I really want to focus instead on all the details of developing that plan, and like I said, it's all provided in the workbook for you, is objectives. Okay, because those are the closest to purpose. So we look at purpose is our driver. Keeping that in mind, we want to look at, for the objectives, how are we going to manifest the purpose? And so that's what each of our objectives is going to accomplish. So within those areas, we have 4 different areas of objectives. The first is service. The second is financial. The third is social. And the last is growth. And you can add and kind of modify these, but these are the basic areas. So when you're thinking about, well, what are my objectives on how I'm going to manifest my purpose, you can go through each of these 4 areas. So service, you're going to want to really look at how can I help my clients? How can I help them to be more successful, to achieve more results, to do it faster, cheaper? Those are going to be the things that you're looking at in the objective. Now, when you look at the area of financial objectives, you're going to look at how will I increase profits? You'll also look at revenues, but keep in mind, revenues don't necessarily equate to profits. So your main goal is going to be look at how am I going to increase my profits this year? And by how much? These also, when you get down to goals, are going to be you're going to make them very smart and specific. Then the third area, to look at for objectives is social. How will I help people, community, and planet? Because part of being a core-powered entrepreneur is it's a very organic and integrated approach. So you're looking at your business, you're looking at how am I of service and helping my clients, but you're also looking at the fact that you are also an integrated part of community, planet, environment, relationship with other people, partners that are all a part of the mix. So you're going to want to incorporate that into your objective planning. And the last and the fourth is growth. So as you look at your plan for the year, you want to look at what are my objectives as far as growth, expansion. Do I want to add on more services, more products? Do I want to increase my geographic territory, my staffing, my facilities? So that's going to be the fourth area that you look at when you are defining your objectives. So those are all the key elements of developing a purpose-driven plan. But remember, as a core-powered entrepreneur, you already know that your life and your business are very integrated. And so when you do this planning, you need to look at all aspects of your life and your business. And in the worksheet, it kind of goes through each of the areas and gives you examples, worksheets for each, so you can go through and define your plan for each of those areas to make sure that both your life and business is balanced. So we're going to continue on. Next week is the end of the month, and we'll conclude our purpose and planning discussions. And we'll look at what happens when our plan doesn't go quite as expected. So until then, remember, true wealth comes from within.